Britain's news channel.
Good afternoon, 25 minutes after 5 o'clock. I'm Nana Akua. This is GB News. We're live on TV, online and on digital radio. 25 minutes after 5 and it's now time for this week's interview. And today it's with Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk, who has led a remarkable life. Now, she is a published writer and an internationally award-winning sculptor, and her many charitable efforts were recognised in 2018 when she received the Civic Pioneer Award, which is one of the highest honours given by Congress to a United States female citizen. And now her organisation is helping to set up a food hub in Merthyr Tudful, which faces some of the highest levels of deprivation in Wales. Well, I'm pleased to say that I'm now joined by Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk, who's here to tell us more. So, Mary Ann, welcome to the programme. Really good to talk to you. I love the beret. You look great. I love it. So, Mary Ann,
thank you so much for having me.
Talk to me about some of the work you've done, because as I understand it, you're planning to give away millions of pounds worth of food aid. But talk to me about what you've set up and how it has come about.
Thank you so much for your interest. Well, it came about from two different ways. One way is originally things began in the United States, obviously in our backyard. We had what was called basically an interfaith volunteer network, and it was really focused on trying to get people of all different faiths and all different economic brackets, all different cultures and races to work together to get to know each other better. And so we had people volunteering from different churches, from different mosques, from synagogues. We had every kind of faith you could imagine. We had Shinto, we had Baha'i, and they would come out and they would volunteer sometimes to repaint the Holocaust Museum or to repair the roof of a church or whatever. And one of the things, obviously, that they did a lot was helping the hungry and food. And over time, we started hearing back, though, from the ministers, the priests, the imams, the rabbis, and others saying, we're so glad we're doing this. It's formating greater appreciation of each other. But the thing is, we're not seeing the numbers go down. And that's bothering us. How come we aren't seeing the numbers going down? So we took about 3 years in which we did data collecting. And that data collecting was saying, we seem to have enough food, but why is it not getting to where it needs to go? And when we started finding out is that you have to think of the donor as the client. How do you make their life easiest for them? And we started understanding more about how they work. So, for example, a lot of people don't know if a banana is not curved enough, it doesn't end up on your grocery store shelf. It has, if you say about if somebody's taking one of those big trucks down the road and it's a bunch of straight bananas and they realize, oh, these can't go anywhere. Well, then if you're hungry, you don't care how straight your banana is. And so a truckload that might be going from Dallas to Miami would be $3,000. And a company would go, okay, we can take the loss. We'll donate that. We'll write that off their taxes. But the problem is the nonprofits would say, oh, we can't take that many. Could you maybe make 3 stops? Well, suddenly that becomes a $9,000 loss. Wow. And that's something a company can't do. And it's you can't demonize them for that. They're having to, survive. So we realized we need to do what we can to ensure that there's one stop. And then we have the responsibility of divvying up among others. So I really make very clear we are not competing with existing food pantries. We are not competing with existing homeless shelters. We're there to help make their life easier. And what we found is there are other examples, for example, where people don't have refrigerated capacity. So making sure that we offer that. Just in a few three years alone, people started finding out, oh my God, if we tell them to donate through this organization at the end of the year, we triple or even quadruple the amount of food that we get. So we started realizing we have to make it easiest for the donor. Well, fast forward, FEMA came to us and they were saying, this was, doing the whole COVID thing. They said, we'd like to work directly with you. And that took us from going from just in North Texas to expanding to where we did Alaska to Puerto Rico to, Hawaii, all over the continent.
But also Wales. Talk to me about Merthyr Tudful, because I know a lot of people will be listening.
We started hearing from these corporations that were working internationally, and they're saying, what can we do on this side of the pond? And everybody here speaks English, so it made a lot of sense for us to do our first outreach into the European continent, with the UK and try and serve. And we discovered that, within, the UK, as amazing a country as it is, 9.5 million tons of food go, wasted annually in the UK alone. And when you start realizing that, and then you start realizing 7.5 million people in the UK are experiencing food insecurity. And then we started looking deeper, and we were apprised of this because of Sky Andrew and his work with Planet Ping, and he made us aware of Merthyr Tudful and how that is one of the areas where they have all these wonderful organizations, but the organizations, none of them have a food hub. And so it ended up being the perfect match for what we do. And we're hoping that if it works there, it's something that we can expand throughout the UK.
Well, it sounds amazing. How much, what's the value of the food that you're going to be able to distribute? Because I read in America you've distributed about $55 million worth, and in the UK you're looking to do over about 11 million.
It's actually even risen since that. That number was from 2023. Now it's $65 million worth of food that's been saved. And we expect that should things work the same way, we could get to those kind of numbers in the UK, but we're starting off small. And it takes time to get local organizations, just like it did in the United States. It took 3 years. People start trusting and realizing we're not competing, we're there to serve. So I don't know how fast that process will be in Merthyr Tudful, and my hope is that it can be faster, especially since we now have a proven record in the US. And hopefully people start realizing that we are there to help them expand on their ability to serve those communities.
So has this started then already? And if so, how can people get access to this, or how can they get in touch? Where do they need to go?
Well, if you are a nonprofit organization and you want to be affiliated and work with us, then contact us directly. If you are individuals that are hungry, go to the food pantry or homeless shelter that you're aware of that's close to you, because our goal is going to be serving those organizations, trying to help them maximize their impact and empower them by getting them more food.
All right, so is there someone with those organisations, if somebody's watching from some of those organisations, is there someone they can go to get in touch with you? Obviously, individuals will go to the food hubs, but you're supplying the food hubs. So where can they find out more?
Well, if you go to the Memnosyne UK website, which you can find, it will basically have a list of the different people within the organization in the UK. David Solomons is the president there. Donna Amadei is helping us and correlate and working with the local community in Merthyr Tudful. And so it's best to work with them directly.
All right. Can you spell out that website? Because I was struggling how to say it. And I thought, how do you spell it? Can you spell it? Because I know people will be listening saying, we really would like to get involved in this. What is the website? So could you spell it for me, just so I've got it as well?
Sure. MEMNO. So Memno and SYNE. So it's memnosyne.uk.
Got it. .co.uk or just .uk? Lovely. So, well, look, it's been really good to talk to you. Wonderful initiative. It's great to tell people about this on Easter Sunday. Mary Ann Thompson-Frenk, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
It.